Hi, Dr. Bobby here. Today we're going to talk about something that all of us experience throughout our lives, and that is rejection. Because of the people I serve, I'll be talking a lot about rejection of our creative work or artistic rejection, but actually these strategies that I'll talk about apply equally well to any type of rejection. But you'll hear me talking a lot about the kind of rejection when you pitch your art to someone or you pitch your creative services to someone. It really is unavoidable if you are putting your work out there or putting yourself out there that you will experience a lot of rejection. And it doesn't make it easy to handle, right? Nobody likes it and you don't have to like it. But can it be easier, or can we learn to cope with it better? And the good news there is that you can learn intentional strategies to fall back on when rejection strikes. And these strategies will help you to feel more resilient and to turn rejection into an opportunity and even to take some of the sting out of it. Working as a therapist over the years, I've landed on 7 ways to help yourself through rejection. So I'll go through those 7 ways today in this course. And they're not actually in any particular order. It's not a 7-step process so much as a set of strategies. And you'll probably rely on some of them more than others depending on what it is you're dealing with. By the end of this course, you'll have these actionable strategies to process the feelings tied to your rejection, to cultivate more self-compassion and a more balanced perspective about the rejection, and also to use the rejection as fuel to refine your creative practice and your career and your work. Okay, the first one is to acknowledge your courage, because if you're in a position where you've been rejected, it means that you've put yourself out there, and that takes bravery, right? Being vulnerable is bravery, and every time you put yourself out there, you're being courageous. Before we even talk about the rejection part, I want you to congratulate yourself for putting yourself in positions that you can even possibly get rejected in the first place. I have an artist friend who, when she's preparing for something that, feels vulnerable, one of her little mantras that she mutters over and over to herself is, you got to be in it to win it. And it just helps remind her that the risk-taking is the only path to achieving what it is that you want to achieve. Brené Brown wrote an excellent book about this type of vulnerability, and the book is called The Power of Vulnerability: Authenticity, Connection, and Courage. One of the quotes from this book is that we can measure how brave you are by how vulnerable you're willing to be. This is what I'm talking about. The only way to get seen is to risk this rejection. So right off the bat, you're doing something right. And if you haven't acknowledged that to yourself, I want you to take a minute now and do that. The activity for this first strategy is to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm brave for putting my work out there, or way to go for behaving courageously, or whatever words come to you. Also, this might seem hokey, but there is science to back up that making eye contact with yourself in the mirror and encouraging yourself has positive effects on your mood and on your self-image. So take a minute to make eye contact with yourself in a mirror and congratulate yourself. And if you want to slap yourself a high five in the mirror, all the better. That's something from Mel Robbins wrote a book about the high five. I think it's called The High Five Habit. I'm not sure. But there's science to back up as well. Encouraging yourself directly really does lead to a better positive self-image and positive mood. I often forget to do this, like at home where there's bigger mirrors available, and then I'll remember in the car and I'll do it in my rearview mirror. And I'm sure I look crazy if anybody notices, but I don't care. It really does help, and we need to be our own advocate. I come from a long line of women who are hard on themselves, and so I'm like a recovering self-beater-upper, and so making that direct eye contact and encouraging myself is a way to remind myself to not just not beat myself up, but to actively encourage myself. So I highly recommend doing this, not just when you're rejected, but anytime you put yourself out there, or even just on a daily basis to congratulate yourself on working hard. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Bobby Ballard. I'm a therapist and artist, and I help creative professionals ditch the nerves so that they can create and grow their businesses with confidence and joy. Okay, so you just watched a short excerpt of the course on rejection. I just wanted you to have a sneak peek so you can get a feel for it. And if you're interested in watching the whole thing, you can access it through the Creative Ease Lite membership, where you get access to my course every month for $9 a month. You could also join Creative Ease, where you get the monthly course plus office hours twice a month with me on Zoom and access to our community. I'll leave the links to both of those below. I'll also leave a link to a free resource you can access called The Creative Professional's 1-Minute Guide to Ditch the Nerves. And if you found this video useful, I would be so grateful if you subscribed to this channel, and that way you'll get notified when I post new content. Okay, thanks. Bye.